Being able to make each other laugh. Do you really want to get serious with someone who can't hardly make you laugh or smile? People ask Reddit, what are some green flags early on in dating that the relationship should become serious? My husband and I backcountry camped on our second date. He was a pro, so I trusted him. He says he was impressed at my willingness to be bold and do something adventurous. We spent several hours hiking into a spot with only conversation in the woods. We set up camp and cooked together. The feeling was peace. Just at peace to be with each other, work as a team, and comfortable with the quiet and fire. I knew he was the one that night. I always thought love at first sight would be a powerful rush or energy. Turns out it feels like coming home. When your soul feels at peace, that's a green flag, my friends. Reply, turns out it feels like coming home is killing me. That's how I felt with my partners when I realized I loved them. It wasn't just a burst of energy or getting all lovey-dovey, it was realizing that they felt warm on a level I couldn't put a name to. Early in our dating days, I was on a train with my now husband. The inspector was checking our tickets while we were about to pull away from the station when my husband spotted a woman come running down the platform. He pointed this out to the inspector, who stuck his arm out the window and held the train until she got on. My husband was so casual about it, didn't think anything of it really, and it was a small action, but one that likely made her day better. I thought it said a lot about his character, that he'd help out a stranger who didn't even know it. I was right, he is still that kind of guy. Reply, this reminds me of my husband. He always offers to help people with heavy bags or strollers on escalators, stairs, etc. if they look like they might need help. He's not a big guy, so often I think people are sometimes taken aback, but the way he casually asks and then hauls for others has always just blown me away. This was one of the most romantic things my husband did when we were early-ish in our relationship. He doesn't even remember it or think it was a big deal, but it was a huge green flag for me. I was preparing to move to a new apartment and had a ton of stuff going on in my life, including trying to coordinate moving out with expensive heat treatment for bed bugs that my a-hole landlord refused to be involved with. I was super stressed and drained, and when I was cleaning the fridge, one of the shelves inside literally shattered. I was basically beside myself and so frustrated because I knew that said a-hole landlord was going to screw me on my security deposit now after all I put up with. So I vented to my husband, then boyfriend, and was basically just like, I give up, everything is the worst. The next day he let me know that he had looked up my fridge model, found the shelf as a standalone piece and ordered it, and it would be there in 2 days, or whatever. I cried. I was so grateful. I was so overwhelmed and emotionally exhausted over the bed bugs and moving and everything else, and the fact that he saw that and just took something off my plate and handled it was such a relief. It showed me what a supportive partner he could be, and it was just what I needed. Also, when my parents' dog, which I'd grown up with, got old and stopped being able to jump onto his favorite chair, my husband, then boyfriend, built a ramp for the dog so he could still get up there to sit with my mom. And he matched it to her decor on purpose. These were all things he just felt like, well, of course, it was needed about, but they reinforced what a caring, thoughtful, loving, true partner he was. He still seeks out ways to do little things to make my life easier all the time, many years later. Obviously these examples are specific, but hopefully you see the overall green flag qualities they showed. My husband and I have endless conversations. There's nothing we can't talk about. Nothing. The first time we ever chatted on the phone, we talked for 6 hours. We've been together for 15 years and still talk every day, several times a day. We love our breakfast time because we chat after eating and really enjoy each other's company. We love talking no matter where we are. And since he also works from home, we work together. There's lots of times we're saying nothing, just enjoying being around each other. But I love that we can talk about anything we want and it doesn't descend into an argument. If you want to support our new channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. We would also love to read some feedback in the comments. Thank you very much. Being weird together after only a couple of dates. It has taken me forever with most. But if I'm able to open up and be silly, then I know it's a really good sign, as I'm an introvert and incredibly shy around someone new, especially someone I see as a partner. About 4 months into my relationship, I got injured. There was a chance that I wouldn't be able to walk again. My then girlfriend, now wife, said, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay. We can figure this out either way. I'm okay now, but just knowing she was going to stay with me no matter what was huge. We've been together 8 years now. We have our challenges, but at the end of the day we both know we're there for each other. How good is their company during a drive, or when there is nothing to do? My future wife and I found that we love just spending time together. We could talk for hours in a car during a drive. Sometimes the drive was more interesting than where we were going. A few weeks into our relationship, we went through a drive-thru and she spontaneously unwrapped and rewrapped my burger so I could eat it while driving with clean hands. I knew I was going to marry her. Just over a week from now it will be 23 years. Reply. Adjunct to this, is enjoying their company in the car even without conversation. First few weeks of my relationship we went on a road trip. I noticed in the moment how amazing it felt just sharing the space in the car with her, often for long periods of silence. If they respond well when you are dealing with a crisis situation, or when you are seriously ill, or when your family member is seriously ill, they may be a keeper. In other words, how do they act/interact with you during times of stress? Does their presence/behavior help? Do they make it worse, or do they make themselves scarce? On my second date, before I was supposed to move states, we got stuck in a parking garage cause of an accident for 45 minutes. We watched a non-subtitled foreign film on my phone, enjoyed talking with one another, and we connected despite being done with what we had planned to do and were stuck in a car. I ended up canceling my move and marrying the woman. You genuinely enjoy one another's company during dull moments. Life's full of them and you are going to want a partner who you can enjoy them with. Reply. I think silence is underappreciated in relationships in general, not just in romantic relationships. There's an oceanic feeling when you're with a good friend just quietly taking in the whole world around you. Another reply. When my now wife and I were dating, we started having introvert dates where one of us would come over and we'd just craft or work on projects in the same room, sometimes talking, sometimes putting a show on in the background. It was so cozy and domestic, like we already lived together. When you can talk forever about pretty much anything, and when something you have different opinions about becomes an interesting discussion rather than a fight. Reply. Important. If you cannot air out your problems, making necessary accommodations, and have different opinions, do not think it will magically change when in relationship. Being able to make each other laugh. Understanding the other person's sense of humor is critical in long relationships, and besides, do you really want to get serious with someone who can't hardly make you laugh or smile? The one that surprised me the most was being upset and telling my BF how I needed them to do XYZ, help me with chores, walk the dog every once in a while, etc. Because I was overwhelmed and frustrated and he just responded, okay, I didn't know you felt like that. I'll try to do better, but please remind me if I forget, and that was that. And he did. It seems small and obvious, but holy crap, I don't think I had ever felt more heard. When, during an argument, both parties take time to listen and respond thoughtfully to their partner and show genuine concern for the distress in their partner, even if it is small. Encouraging growth, but doesn't try to change your foundation. Noticing the other does not take themselves too seriously. In the very early days of dating my now husband, we took a long road trip for a romantic getaway in Boston. The first night in town, expensive dinner in a famous seafood restaurant. The server brings the bill and takes my date's credit card. Server comes back with the news that the credit card was declined. Both he and I burst out laughing at the same moment. That was my green flag. When you feel completely at ease with them, you feel you can totally be yourself. Love is fireworks at first, but if they come with a warm glow rather than edginess, that's a good sign. If you set a boundary and they respect it. If you say that you are more comfortable meeting them at the date location after they offer you a ride, they shouldn't insist on picking you up. Being comfortable with time apart. Early on in my relationship, he went out of town with his family. When he arrived back in town, he called me and thanked me for giving him space, but now he misses me and wants to come over. Apparently, his last girlfriend had him on the phone day and night when he was out of town, and he was shocked I didn't call him at all. I was respecting his space. We've been married 5 years now, and I still don't bother him when he's gone for a weekend. He calls me every night before bed, But I don't bug him because I want him to enjoy his time without worrying about me. It helps that I trust him. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.